Before we get into today's video, we want to thank you for watching Peak Curiosity. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified for all your new uploads and to support the work we're doing on the channel to provide you with the entertainment for trillions of light years to come. Helping people is an obligation of every person, because every person in this world must coexist with others and help them. A person must realize that no matter how powerful he is, he will one day need help from others. Below, we'll show you this exciting story that tells you this young girl who suddenly found herself was rescued in a crocodile basin, and dozens of crocodiles were approaching her. It happened in the American city of New York in 1956, when the 9-year-old girl named Ninzi found herself inside a small crocodile reserve. Surrounded by a fence, the reserve contained a large basin with dozens of crocodiles, and the parents took pictures of their little daughter near the crocodile basin, and they remained watching the pictures taken. The girl crept from the parents from a small opening that was under the fence and entered the crocodile basin. The girl was not aware of the danger hovering with her as she was approaching the basin and eager to touch those fierce crocodiles. And immediately she noticed the crocodiles. She started approaching her and fighting for victory in that heavy meal. The parents turned to the girl but did not find her, and when they looked inside the cage, they noticed that she was near the pelvis and waved her hand to the crocodiles. Well, the crocodiles were approaching her quickly. The parents were very shocked and began calling for help. A large crowd gathered around the cage, but none of them had the courage to enter the cage in order to save that little girl from those hungry crocodiles. Everyone was watching the situation, and the father was trying to climb the fence in order to reach his daughter, but he could not, and remained holding his head and bemoaning and watching what would happen with his daughter. Well, the mother and the rest of the audience were all in shock and watched the terrifying situation. There are only a few meters left between the crocodiles and the girl. In those moments, a man came from afar, climbed the fence very quickly, and then jumped and entered the cage, holding a long rope that had been recommended by a man who was with him to grab him from outside the cage in order to stick to him when he tried to get out. Then he went straight towards the girl and grabbed her, and then carried her and returned her to the back. Although the crocodiles chased him and the girl, he was very fast, put the girl on his back and ordered her to hold it from her neck, and then climbed the rope and jumped over the fence, exiting the cage. It was a few seconds separating the little girl and the ferocious crocodiles, but this man, who forced the attendees to applaud him for his courage and skill in dealing with the matter, saved her from certain death and amazed everyone the way he dealt with the matter. In the end, it turns out that the savior was the famous comedian and novelist George Carlin. The artist was on a business trip to one of the theaters that was located next to the zoo, and after he was passing from near that park, he noticed the girl inside the crocodile cage, which made him get out of his car and his friend and brought a rope with them to enter to save it. As for the girl who was rescued, it turned out to be the future Hollywood star Nancy Allen, and this actress has appeared in many films and has become popular with movie fans around the world. After many years have passed since this incident, the artist George Carlin started suffering from alcohol and drug addiction in 2008, and he stopped working completely and entered the world of gambling. After losing many bets, he declared his bankruptcy completely, and when he told Nancy about it, he made sure that he was the one that saved her life. She went to him at his house and offered to help him, and Nancy paid for all the expenses of addiction treatment that George Carlin had, and he eventually managed to get through this difficult period of his life and recovered. Although he announced his retirement from acting, George Carlin continued his creativity in the field of writing, and his most recent book was It's Stupid to Fear Crocodiles from a Little Girl, a novel that met with great success and achieved a high rate of sales. To an American actor and writer, he volunteered and saved the life of the girl, but he did not know that the girl would one day return the favor and help him get past the most difficult stage of his life, and eventually regain his life.